Started. All right, so we finished the dogmatic theotokien,
Yes,
I
we did.
believe,
Mhm.
all the Plagal IV slow stuff.
Mm.
So now what we do, maybe we'll go back over some of that, but what I'd like to do is both compare the slow and the brief.
So you don't want to continue with the Aposticha, or?
We will also
Oh,
continue. We will also continue with the Aposticha.
All right.
I'd like to maybe compare one or two hymns, just to show either how easy one is versus the other, or different things. I go to the slow Aposticha as well, and then I have, since Lent is coming up, I have the first Lenten Prokiemena for this is for forgiveness Sunday evening, again from St. Anthony's Monastery, and this is, as I said in the email, a challenge piece. This is, the Prokiemenon itself takes 3 minutes, and you sing it a lot, so, and we can talk about why it's 3 minutes long, and things like that. But there's a lot of rhythm. It's not really all that complicated, it's just you gotta understand the rhythm.
Oh my God.
So we'll see how that goes. It'll be fun. So, maybe we'll sing stuff first, and then we'll get to this, and then we'll kind of depack that and just see.
Yeah,
This is one of those things where once you read this, then everything else looks simple. And if we were to read a cherubic hymn, it'd be like, oh man, everything else is really easy, because the cherubic hymn is much more complicated. So, okay, so let's just sing the scale so I can get my levels here.
Okay.
And so, Ni pavutai kezoni, ni zorkeli gavupali. Cool. Do you have the brief Plagal 4?
Maybe.
If you don't, then my plans are
Well,
changed.
as long as one of us has it.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Brief Plagal 4.
I went slow and brief.
No, it doesn't say brief necessarily. It says slow.
Well, that one says slow, but I gave you brief before because we went through it before. That's all slow.
That's awesome. This is slow. No. Slow Aposticha, and this is slow. Plagal Fourth is all. Well, here it is. Lord, I have cried. That's normal.
That's all slow.
Do you have it?
That's all slow.
It's
But
a
I
different
don't have
section.
brief.
It's a different section. It was from like 8 weeks ago or something like that.
Maybe I wasn't here to get it.
No, you were.
Really? Slow Stachira. We'll find it.
It'd be in a different section, I think.
I do
What
not
about
have
this?
It all depends on you, John.
Well,
I think mine's lying on my bedroom floor. I took a bunch of stuff out, and I guess that was it.
well, I have the different. I have the fourth tone brief. Fourth tone brief.
That's fourth tone brief. Let's see.
Maybe
Yeah, I got
I
that
mixed
too.
that up.
Grave
with-
mode brief. Plagal
Maybe
1 brief.
I mixed these up.
Third brief.
No, this is
Let's
all
see.
fourth.
Plagal first. First mode.
I have all brief for fourth mode. Except not fourth mode.
Wait, okay, so
No.
we've done. Oh wait.
Oh, did I
Yeah.
get it? I did
Got
get
it.
Why didn't I put it?
I know.
I guess it's
That was way long ago.
it was too long ago.
Yeah.
Now I'm messed up. So this is brief Stachira.
All
That
right.
was a long time ago.
So you have the slow and the brief, right?
Should put them together.
Yeah.
No, this is it.
Okay, for the Stachira?
Okay, so what I'd like to do,
Oh, bring
Yeah,
the
so
solo
you have-
version.
and I guess we can start with the Stachira, because I don't know if do you have Lord I've Cried, or? We'll just do the Stachira, it's a better comparison.
Oh, you've
for the
got the
moment.
slow. I see. I can get them both too. Well, we just
Okay.
Okay.
I gotta read all that anyway, so.
Okay, so brief Stachira. Again, they both start on Ni. And we'll just read through verse number 1, Stachira number 1, just read them through on the words, and just notice the little differences. Neagie, the brief one. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may confess thy name. An evening hymn and rational adoration do we offer unto thee, O Christ. O For thou wast well pleased to have mercy on us through the resurrection. Cool. Simple. Easy. Hopefully that didn't give you any difficulties.
No.
Okay. So let's go to the slow.
Okay.
And then bring it up on mine. Okay, so if you notice, the previous one said, "Bring my soul out of prison that I may confess thy name." This one instead goes, "Bring my soul out of prison, vu." So if you notice, that one is going to be a lot more focused on thee. This is going to be a lot more focused on vu. It still goes to thee, but vu plays a much more major part. So, Neagie, bring my soul out of prison, that I may confess thy name. An evening hymn and ration, all adoration do we offer unto thee, O Christ, for thou wast well pleased to have mercy on us through the resurrection. Okay? Any comments on that? It's slower, obviously.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily all that slower. It's just longer. You know. I guess we did it. Versus an evening hymn and so a little faster for the brief version. So let's do verse number 2 and secure number 2.
You're doing the brief again?
Yep, we'll do the brief.
Okay.
This is really brief.
Let me bring it up. Lord, oh Lord, yeah. Neagie, the righteous shall wait patiently for me, until thou shalt reward me. Lord, oh Lord, cast us not away from thy presence, but be well pleased to have mercy on us through the resurrection. Cool. Straightforward, you know. No problems. Now let's bring the slow. And this is a way of getting, kind of familiarizing yourself with the differences, not necessarily being able to categorize what the differences are, but, and also a way of just practicing. So, verse number 2, secure number 2. Neagie, the righteous shall wait patiently for me, until thou shalt reward me. Lord, oh Lord, cast us not away from thy presence, but be well pleased to have mercy on us through the resurrection. Cool. Okay. So, and the other thing that if you notice on this one and secure number 1, they both go, Isan goes up to thee, and they both go up into that upper tetrachord, that upper region of the scale, and they play around up there. And this one very much please to have mercy on us through. So it really has some fun times up there.
There's a lot more. I don't know what the word is, but like the notes are connected.
Yeah.
It's like almost like a tumbling effect. You know, instead of like going like a step function, there's like more of a smoothing of the.
There's not as many jumps, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you don't go. You know, there's not like seconds or thirds. It's basically if there's that kind of change, you kind of like.
Yeah, exactly. It's all connected. So, want to do more? Or want to go to the Aposticha?
No, it's cool.
Okay. So let's do number 3, and then after that, then we'll maybe look at the Lenten Prokiemena a little bit, and then we'll go to the Aposticha. We'll see how the Lenten Prokiemena goes. And I bring that because it's in a few weeks, and depending upon who's there. Last year I sang it, and I added Western notation from St. Gregory Palamas because it was a little bit shorter than this one, but we ended up needing a longer version, so I'll probably do this one this year.
No, you do this. You would do this when? You do this during Vespers?
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
Which one will this be?
So right now we're
the next one you do.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the next one you do, not this week, but next week.
I know. Wait, this will be for Sunday evening though.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we'll discuss why that is.
Oh, forgiveness Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. So verse number 3, secure number 3. Brief. Am I on brief? Let's see. Yep. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. O Lord, hear my voice. Rejoice, O holy Zion, the mother of the churches and dwelling place of God. For thou wast first to receive remission of sins through the resurrection. Cool. And I hope that none of these are difficult.
No, not even like those two gorgons in a row. It's like, you can knock those out.
Yeah.
So they start going backwards and there's dots and like,
yeah.
It's still gets a little ahead.
Okay, so now, the slow version. Verse number 3, sticker number 3. Once again, Vu is prominent. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. O Lord, hear my voice. Rejoice, O holy Zion, thou mother of the churches and dwelling place of God. For thou wast first to receive remission of sins through the resurrection. That was a little more fun.
Yeah.
So, shall we do that one more time?
Yeah, that's it.
And then we'll get to more.
There's too many things in there to
out of the depths.
walk away from that.
Out of the depths have I cried. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. O Lord, hear my voice. Rejoice, O holy Zion, thou mother of the churches For thou wast first to receive remission of sins through the resurrection. Cool. A little bit better?
A little bit better.
Churches was tough.
What is that?
And thou mother of the churches. Churches. And dwelling place of
But if you did it
God.
slowly, just the
Nope.
No.
Churches.
That's it. No, I was. But you sang churches, so you
Yes.
did a okay. That
Churches.
that's what I didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that, of course, because of the.
Yep, because you have the varia before
Oh,
the
before
stress
that.
before that ison
Okay, so I didn't do that.
on the is of churches. Churches. Yep. Churches.
Yeah, that was throwing me off because
Because I
these all the
I know that.
these on the what's this called
Which one?
this I don't like I like this going is actually affecting that, so I only gets 1.5, right?
Let's see. The
Class.
yeah the plasma on top.
Right.
Yeah.
So all these are getting like this is what was I guess messing me up because it was
Oh, they're all back.
Yeah, they're all
And then that gets, so that loses one beat.
Yeah, they all affect
right.
each other.
Half
So
a beat,
that
yeah.
I know that. See that's.
So all these are getting half a beat. So the whole thing is like is 8
Yes,
notes in there.
so the first one at church is 1.5, and then everything after that is a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the is of churches is even like a half too because of the way that I
Right.
that I
Yeah,
sing
you're
it.
playing with it. Yeah.
1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, 2. Da, da.
Yeah.
So, cool. All right. All right. So let's switch over. Let's switch gears. Let's take out the Lenten Prokiemena. I did something with my.
I should put this in all.
Okay.
I don't know why I had this. All this separate.
Yeah, I gotta go like sort mine.
I got lots of music. Okay, so Lenten Prokiemena. These are used only during Lent, as the name implies. So they are sung on Sunday evening, and the major reason is that you need some time because Sunday evening Vespers during Lent and Forgiveness Sunday is the first one, which is right before.
So is there always a Sunday evening Vespers, or is that just like during Lent?
What?
Is there always Vespers Sunday evening?
Oh, there's Vespers every evening.
Is that right? Oh, okay. So
Well, Sunday, yeah, that's true.
is there?
Sunday
I guess that's
evening-
true. There's like that's the daily cycle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if the Greek churches are all going to. I have to check some. The
Sometimes
Greek
you-
churches
yeah.
are very good about the Sunday Vespers.
Oh, really?
About the Sunday Vespers.
Okay.
They're very good. But I'm not
So
sure.
you don't see that often in
But I don't
parishes
know if
except
you
like
see
during
that,
Lent,
right?
maybe.
Except during Lent, and then it's not normally. Every parish doesn't do it. It's normally like in the OCA. Often they switch parishes. Every parish takes a Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes in the Greek churches they'll do it.
I don't know. But we check the maybe their website will say if they have it.
Yeah.
Will St. Mary's have it every
I don't know.
Sunday? Or you don't know
No,
yet?
I have to talk to Father and see what his plans are. But every Sunday you switch back and forth. This one is the first one. Turn not away thy face, thy countenance. Turn not away thy face from thy servant, for I am afflicted.
Mhm.
That one is for first, second, and fourth. What is it? First, second, and fourth. Yeah. And so they kind of go back and forth. Forgiveness Sunday, second and fourth. The first Sunday is the other one. So they go back and forth, starting on Forgiveness Sunday, and the key here is that we're transitioning from the weekend to the weekday, and the weekday is very repentant, especially during Lent. During the regular year, it is too, but during Lent especially, the weekday stuff is much more repentant.
Lenten, yeah.
Whereas on the weekend, everything's a little bit more festal. You're allowed to have wine and oil.
Right. Still the resurrection, even though it's
it's the resurrection, and Saturday as well is included in that.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday evening Vespers changes a little bit, and then Sunday evening changes it back. But the difficulty is that Sunday evening starts on Sunday and ends on Monday. So then you have to change somewhere in the middle from a joyous character to repentant. So that's the turning point is this Prokiemenon, followed by God save the Lord.
Oh, okay.
And so this is really long, and I asked one of the chanters in Pittsburgh who knows a lot more than I do and has a degree in this stuff, and I said, why is it so long? What's the deal? And there's a practical reason, especially on Forgiveness Sunday. The priest has to change all the colors of the cloths in the church. So you get all the altar servers change the robe colors, all the priest changes his vestment colors, the deacon changes his vestment colors, and then also all the icon covers, everything on the altar changes to purple. So from white or gold, whatever happens to be on the altar, to purple. And then throughout the rest of the Sundays, it depends on the parish, but sometimes they'll switch back to gold on the Sundays, and then they'll switch back on Sunday evening. But a lot of parishes I've seen where on the weekends they still wear purple, so nothing really changes.
Mm-hmm.
So the practical reason is there because you need time. You need this space to change everything. But if you're not changing it, let's say during the middle weeks, if your parish doesn't happen to change it, then because you're changing character, this is where you change into repentant mode. And so when I was talking to the chanter in Pittsburgh, he was like, Nick, he was like, the fathers of the church were psychologists par excellence. He was like, they know how we think. And so you have a really long Prokiemenon, and the words kind of get lost, and then you do it again, and you do it again, and this one gets done more times than the other normal Prokiemenons. So at first you're like, why is it so long? They're not normally this long. And then they do it again. It's like, well, why are they doing it again? It's like, I have things to do. And then the third time it's like, well, what's it like outside? You know, like you start going through all these things, and it's like, is my car? Did I remember to close my window? Did I remember to lock my car? By the time the fourth one comes around, you've kind of exhausted everything that you can think about, and it's either I'm going to leave Vespers or I'm going to stick it out. And so by the time the fourth one comes around, all the menial thoughts have kind of abated. And I mean, if you're trying to abate them, if you're really trying not to, then they don't have to. But this is a way to kind of get back into the mode of repentance and to really embrace stillness and silence. And so this Prokiemenon gives you that opportunity, and that's why it's so long. Is just to really it's to give the people an opportunity. Since the church is our mother and knows what we need, she gives us this opportunity to quiet ourselves, to forget everything about the outside world because we're in the church, especially during the service, and to return back to what is more important. So
the verses are short.
The verses are short. But if you notice,
the other way, long verses.
If you notice, there's four. We have 3 verses here. Normally you don't have that many, except maybe
usually 3, right?
Well, on Saturday evening you have 3. Weekday you have 1, I believe, if I recall. Let me see.
Oh, what?
Yeah, weekday you have 1. Saturday evening you have 3, I believe. And then Lenten Prokiemena, you have a really long Prokiemenon. And then you have the 3 verses. So, shall we sing it?
No. You have to look at Paralagi.
Yeah.
I think even then it's going to be hard.
Do you want me to sing a portion of it?
Sure, let's hear it, yeah.
Okay, do you want to do Isan, or do you want me to sing it without Isan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can give it a shot, I guess.
Ne agie zarokean thy Let's see, did I do everything right?
I'm gonna tell you didn't.
Yep. So there's some interesting rhythms in here.
Gosh, Lord.
So this is hard, and I would not, if it were me, like, so I haven't read this in like a year, and normally I don't sing this, so I would not go into Vespers being like cold. You know, I would practice this ahead of time. I would make sure I know where the rhythms are, I know where I'm doing, because even here you have rhythms upon rhythms, and it gets tough. So the first three notes are easy. Neagye gavupa vupa gagavu pagavupani. Cool? That makes sense? Shall we do that again on parallel key? Ni again from the beginning. Gavupa vupa gagavu pagavupani. Shall we do it with the words?
Yeah. That's a good way to do it. It's like a little piece.
Especially because you have words that kind of repeat and don't repeat, and then okay, so we'll bring up a little bit. Turn not away.
Yeah, it's hard to. I guess it's hard to hear the rhythm because it's like just on one syllable.
Yeah.
You're not. You're just not used to that kind of that level of melisma, I guess.
Yeah. So this is where we get real melisma, and I put this not as something that we should necessarily know now, but just to push a little bit.
No, that's this is like a 10K. And
yeah, exactly.
You go back down to your 4K.
So this is kind of a little challenge thing, and this is one thing where, let's say we do the first two lines. And that's all we'll do today.
Okay.
You know, and then that's a good thing. And then you can look at it if you want. You know, if you happen to be like, oh, how did that? Let me get another line. Yeah. So neagye turn not away. Okay, let's sing it one more time, and I will not read the music as it's written. I will interpret the music. So don't get confused because you're doing it right. So turn not away. So, not complicated when we just kind of do it in little phrases. Okay, next one. That's the Arni, and this is one where I would go neagi, neagi.
You started over.
Yeah. Because this one's slow, you know. And then that gives you the right tempo. To do it any faster than that, kind of, it doesn't have the majesty of the Prokiemenon. So
I do remember them singing this in Greece when I was there.
Really?
Did hear it, and it was beautifully done.
Yeah,
it was a very solemn part of the service. It seemed like everything stopped. I remember it now.
It's almost timeless, you know, because
there was something like everyone sort of didn't breathe or something.
Yeah,
the chanter did.
And then it's funny because after this, you finish it, and then it's.
I don't remember that.
then you just the prayer vouchsafe, O Lord, to keep us. It's just you go
Yeah,
back
right.
into speaking after this
Right,
really
yeah,
long.
This was like a big sort of very devotional pause.
Yeah.
Everyone was
So,
quiet.
Especially, I mean, the turn not away your face from your servant, for I am afflicted. You know, hearken unto me quickly, attend to my soul and deliver it. So, okay, next phrase. Thy countenance.
Right.
Neagie ni pavud ni pavud gavi pavudi gavu pavu.
Yeah.
All right. So, you want me to write that on the board?
Yeah.
All right.
The string of stuff like right around that 3.
Yeah. So this is where it gets fun.
Where do you get that
Why is
circle?
it
Oh, I didn't even bring my my music
Is
on
it
the
3
screen.
beats or
I
something?
apologize.
Yeah, it's like that chunk of it is like in 3-4 times, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's confusing.
And I apologize to those online because I didn't even put my music on the screen. We were just singing, and you have my head. That's it. Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna start a little bit earlier. So from to of countenance to. Okay. So we have this, and this is where it starts. So this is 2 beats, right? 2 beats, 1. This is how many beats?
Sorry, where are you starting?
Oh, I'm on the second syllable of countenance.
That's one.
Okay.
That's a half.
Right.
It's taken a half.
This is a half. Yep.
Right.
Okay. So then this one has 2 symbols as
and then
part of it.
one.
So it has 1/2, and then it has plus. The second
Plus.
one.
Oh, then well, maybe it's taken away from some.
So now here's where we get fun stuff. Okay. So we had the argon, and this is the 3. Is this the 3 argon?
Or is it? Why is it? Well, if it says 3 next to it, what is that?
Oh, the 3. I'll mention that in a second. Okay, so then after this, then we get this guy. Okay, and then this guy has a bar on top. Okay, so we'll stop there for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
This 3, any remembrance of what that 3 means?
Yeah, that's those 3 notes.
Yeah.
It's like
So
4 times.
from here up until this bar is 3. So this, so what we remember hopefully is we have this guy. Sorry, I'll do it a little differently. My eraser go. Okay.
Da da da. Is that it? It's like a trick. Da 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 da.
So this equals this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if we have this, then that means that this one gets 2 beats, gets a chiasma, and then this one gets our.
Right. Okay. That's
Okay,
right.
that's our argon. So now we add another language to it, and I believe that's our 3 EV argon, if I recall. And then that means that this guy has 2 dots. Okay. So now this one here is, let me put this here. Okay, so this one becomes 2 apostrophos. The first one has a gorgon, right? Second one has a dot on it, but that's affected by this next thing. Okay. So this is up until here. You see that?
What? Sorry. What did you just do? What's that represent? This.
So this starts right here.
Okay, so you're picking up there. Yeah.
I'm just expanding it.
Okay.
Okay. So the apostrophos, or sorry, the iperoi becomes 2 apostrophos.
Mm-hmm.
The first one gets a gorgon. Second one gets a dot. That dot is acted upon by the next thing, the 3 mirgon. So this one, the gorgon, and this one goes on this one. So this is a half a beat. This is a half a beat. This is 1.5 beats. This is a half a beat. This is technically 3, but then it's acted upon by this guy. Okay? So they're all acted upon by each other. So, sorry, I'll write that out differently. Okay, so this one was 3, now it's 2.5. 1/2. And then, okay, and then this one, after this comes, you got a D gorgon on top, right? Okay, so this one's 1/2. This one should be 1, but he gets acted upon by the D gorgon. So he becomes 1/3. This one's 1/3. And then we have our Prokiemenon after that. So, Prokiemenon. So these are all 1/3 now. Okay, does that make any sense?
Only partly.
Okay.
So,
and this is where we'll stop because this is, or at least on this rhythm
getting a little hairy.
This is really.
I didn't write anything down. I'm trying to comprehend it from the board.
Okay, so we have thy counsel, let's do that here. So, does that make any sense?
I think so. If we do it a couple more
1
times.
and 2, 2 and 1, 2, 3 and 1 triplet.
Right. Okay.
And so is that
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more
Yeah.
clear? So let's see. So
Oh no.
okay. So this is let me just finish out this phrase. So then we have after that we have our Prokiemenon, and then we have this guy. Then we have another Iproi. And then we're going with the dot, and then that guy. Okay, so we have here 1 triplet. Then we have our that guy, and he's acted upon by
The gorgon.
the gorgon.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 2 apostophos there. Dun dun do. And we have another apostophos with a gorgon on top, and he's got a dot, and then he gets acted on by the next one. Okay.
Okay, there's 3 in a row there.
So, and then finally we have an Isan with a cosmo. Okay, so we have thirds, then we have 1/2, 1/2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we have, this one is 1/2 as well because it gets acted on by the gorgon. 1/2. This one was 2 beats. Sorry, it was, let's see. Oh yeah, so he is now,
He's now 1.5, right?
This is a funny thing. Okay, he's just 1 beat because he gets acted upon by the gorgon that's on top.
Right, and then by the one behind him.
And by the one behind him.
So now he's just 1.
Yeah, so he's just 1, but he's a syncopated 1.
Right. Yeah, he's off beat.
Yeah. And this is 1/2, and this is 2. So this is really complicated. And let me do this differently on this guy because that's really fun. So he's technically 2 apostophos like attached together. How do I do that? Let's do that.
Yeah, I just.
I'll just bring them together, and then the first one gets a gorgon, and then the second one is acted on by this gorgon. So he's 1/2, he's 1/2, but they're tied together.
Right.
So
it's just
1 and dun, 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 dun. Okay, and so I'll just 1 and 2. Down to 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3 and 1 triplet, 1 and 2 and da da. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Okay, so where we'll at least put away this for a moment is do you want me to sing it and then?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. So thy countenance. I'll start from the first end of the first line.
Okay.
Thy countenance. So, thy countenance.
Okay, I think I followed it that time.
Okay. Let me sing it again?
Yeah, one more time, please. Third time's the charm.
Thy countenance. Okay?
Yeah.
Really complicated. Really all convoluted.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think you go into this cold and like sight read that.
Yeah,
At least I don't.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So.
Even if it was written in Western.
But that's the thing. Like, if you look at this in Western, it gets really complicated because there's all these dotted rhythms, and then here you're bouncing off of things. But a lot of times, once you've, I don't know, it's not really all that difficult to read once you know what to look for. It's still difficult rhythm-wise, but and sometimes because of this, you end up putting little sharps in there. I'll have to listen to how people sing it. You don't have to. I kind of want to put a sharp in there, just because I went to.
It's almost like if you're like bouncing around a lot like that, you don't want to bounce. It's almost you don't want to bounce too far away.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a recording of, I believe I have a recording of one of, I think it's the same one, same type of melody. So we can always listen to that at some point. I'm fine with putting this away for the moment.
Can we do the first two lines then? Or you just go right back through them?
Yeah, yeah. Turn not away, thy Okay. Yeah, breath support here too. I don't know. I breathe right before nents, but then it's a question of do you breathe somewhere else after that?
So that's weird. Like you breathe right in the middle of the word. I mean, I guess you can't avoid it because like the word's this long now.
I mean, you could do thy countenance.
But see, you still breathe right in the. See, I would want to try to keep thy countenance as one breath, but no.
If you so desire, where would you breathe before?
I would breathe before thy. Yeah.
Or before thy.
Yeah.
Okay. That,
right out there. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know that's just part of our work too. That's why this just looks kind of strange to me. Because I've seen that before, where they just say the first syllable, and it's like, what the hell is this about?
Let me see. Thy countenance. If I practice that, I mean,
maybe
I have to make sure that I know what I'm doing. Otherwise, halfway through,
I guess that's one good thing. If you take a breath halfway through, it gives you time to figure out where you are.
Yeah, I would breathe somewhere, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past some of the chanters that they have huge breath capacities. Maybe they could do that countenance the entire
I would say
thing.
to me that's unnatural to take a breath in the middle of a word.
It is unnatural from a Western perspective.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of, I mean, if you have a true hymn, you're breathing it all the time.
You got to,
in between mystically. You know, it's like
except in the middle of the word.
So
I guess you could take a breath after count 10.
I mean, you got like
after the 10, and then
just
has
got like 27 notes to a syllable. That's inevitably going to breathe in the middle of the word.
I think the key in breathing is to not be like, because then people know, oh no, they broke it. Yeah. But if you go, thy count, it's people. I don't know. Hopefully, reverb covers you. That's why Hagios Sophia was so big, so you could sing the Lenten Prokiemena. I don't know. Maybe I'll email one of the chanter at St. Sophia's and say, we're going to be continuing to go through the Lenten Prokiemena. Can you come in and sing it for us and see what he does? Because I'd be curious, because I don't know where to breathe. I've never been taught this stuff, so I just breathe where I think it's comfortable. Okay, let's go to simple stuff. In the time we have, I look back at the board and I'm like, my goodness. So I hope that wasn't.
No, yes. Now that you've done it, at least I can follow.
Yeah, and
I know it's coming up eventually.
Yeah, I could do it now with you.
And this is one of those things where I
didn't understand.
When I was learning, I took one of these things and I was like, okay, pencil, I'm gonna expand this out and really make, like, it makes sense, but you have to convince yourself of it, and you have to convince yourself of how the rhythms interact, and once you convince yourself, it's work, but it's progress. So I did that with let my prayer arise from the pre-sanctified liturgy. I think I mentioned that before, that I took something way more complicated than I should have. And just kind of took it, and I was like, how do all these rhythms work? I know what they mean individually, but how does it work as a group? So there it is. Slow Aposticha. Plagal of Fourth. In comparison.
Yeah, I think it's relatively simple now. Relatively.
Yeah. And then we get to talk about one thing here as well. In the second line, we have the zygos.
I see that, yes.
Yep. Did we talk about zygos? I think we did.
Yeah, we talked about zygos.
Yeah.
The yolk.
Yeah. Okay. Slow Aposticha. We got it?
Oh, I've got a lot of them.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Which one you're on?
This is the slow one, yeah. Do you have this? Oh, you got it, yeah.
Yep. That is the send. And again, Aposticha means on the verse, so the troparia here is before the verse, because it's on top of the verse. So, or before the verse. So, Neagie Nivu Gadi 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 Gavu Gadi Kedi Gavu Abu Gadi Gadi Kedi. Now the zygos. That one's the one that goes Vigavu Pavu Vigavu Pani Pavu Gadi. So the ga is sharp, the pa is sharp, and
so what would you call that? Chromatic, deep chromatic, or something like that? You're going into that.
Well, this is the zygos scale. Yeah, it's just a.
Is it a chromatic type of scale?
Yep. Yeah. It's
so
it's
like.
It's a chromatic scale.
You have to sort of think chromatic, I guess.
Thou camest unto death. So, it's just, yes, smaller intervals with ga and pa. Does that make sense?
Cool. Yeah.
So, thou camest Gavi gavu pavu pavu. Back to diatonic. Ni pavu pavu gavu pani pani ni. Ni do ni pavu pavu gavi ni kezo ni zo kezo ni zo What is this?
This is the.
Is this another one?
No, what is this?
This is the hard chromatic scale. It has the symbol for the in the hard chromatic scale. So the gavu pa pavu gavi kezo ke the gavu gavi gavu.
How does this differ from the zigos that we were singing as far as
so
notes?
So this one.
They're both chromatic, although this one is.
So zigos vigavu pavu hard chromatic vigavu pavu gavi as opposed to vigavu pavu.
You just have to know that.
You
just have to know that.
Yep. Yeah, it's all oral. So and the convenient part is hard chromatic is what Plagal 2 is in most of the time.
That's
so you get used to singing hard chromatic all the time, so you just kind of enter into that scale for a little bit, come out. Zigos is shading, it's its own thing. So
to have both in the same piece as well.
This is
this symbol under the so just that. Maybe back to the diatonic. That's what it is, right? Okay.
Yeah, just for falling. Oh, and then it goes back for resurrection, And I sang something slightly different. O thou who art the true light on the previous page, at the end of the previous page. I didn't realize where it was going, so O thou who art the true light. I didn't sing the intervals like that, but now that I know where it was going, that's how I would have sung it. So let's go. Thou camest unto the fallen.
Okay.
Nice. Cool. You guys did nice at that. So, any questions? I think.
No, once we went through it, that was sort of straightforward.
Yeah.
Certainly in terms of rhythm.
Yeah.
Not anymore. That's another one.
And hopefully, compared to the other one, there was almost nothing you could hold on to. It's like a rock climbing wall with no holds on it. Whereas this one, you have all these familiar phrases. It's kind of like, oh right, da 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 da, or or I think it was Resurrection. Resurrection of all. Classic. So these are old friends that come to life. So let's sing with the words.
All right.
Neagie, thou didst ascend the cross, O Jesus, who didst descend from heaven, thou camest unto death, O immortal life, thou camest unto those in darkness, O thou who art the true light, thou camest unto the fallen, O resurrection of all, O our light and our Savior, glory be to thee. Cool. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully on glory, you notice that's the same thing. Glory. Is that kind of straightforward? I mean, we have a few scale changes here, which is nice to hit on. Were they okay? Scale changes?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Zygos
And the hard chromatic?
The hard chromatic's easier.
Yeah.
Because you can sort of figure it.
And it kind of, it almost,
You have to know which
it
ones are
almost
not.
exudes from the music, the fallen
Everything that
over.
deals with death or sin or corruption is chromatic.
Hard chromatic, yeah.
Hard chromatic.
Yeah,
The worse
if we're
the harder.
amazed, if we're amazed, then it's soft, you know. Then we're kind
I
of
think it's
chromatic. Let's see. The next one's kind of long, so I'm fine with stopping there. We're just under an hour right now.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
rather than going to the next one, we'll stop.
All right.
So hopefully that was okay.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a great